I think the Belichick thing is over, and I think he knows it and they know it, and there'll be a mutual parting of the ways. And it doesn't matter when he signed his last contract extension or what's written on the paper, because he's provided them with the most amazing. Well, and look, there's more Brady than him, but whatever, it goes on his record too. He has authored as a coach and lead football executive the greatest run of superior play that we will ever see in the salary cap era. So if he wants to walk, they're going to let him walk. And in their heart of hearts, they'd rather him walk than them have to fire him or say you could stay, but you're coaching and somebody else is picking the players. Like, I just think Bob Kraft, after it getting as messy as it did with Brady, that this is, everybody knows where this is headed. And I hear a lot of rumors about him wanting Washington. I've heard a lot of rumors about Belichick being very interested in Chicago. Um, I think him breaking Shula's record in Foxborough isn't the end all and be all for him.
So I like the Jets too. Well, I did in the contest picks, but now I am tempted to go the other way just because it does seem popular. And we saw favorites do so well, but maybe that ends tonight. Yeah, it is hard to figure out this Chargers team. Don't like the head coach, so weird things are bound to happen. And it does seem like Herbert's getting healthier. Maybe they do go on a run. I'm kind of flip-flopping now. Maybe I'm just overanalyzing this game in terms of a side because I've had so much time to think about it. But I like the Jets as underdogs. I'm probably, I already bet that last week, so I'll probably just stick to props. Don't they tend to have good, like, first halves? Maybe there's a bet there.
They have good first halves, bad second halves. That's been going on for the entire Herbert era for years. So, yeah. And Jets are bad in the first half too, but the Chargers are good if you want. Okay. I know people are going to bet into that. Chargers first half is -2.5. The places that offer second half, they have the Jets at +1.5.
It's Chargers first quarter.
Oh my God. You're going to win the coin toss? We're going to get the ball first? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That'd be tough. I've never done
breaking this down
quarter.
to the lowest. Yeah.
She wants to go to bed early.
It's like the Nerfy conversation all over again, only we're getting to first drive stats. When it comes to how to live bet a game like this, I do believe that, okay, we're talking about how the Chargers do well in the first half and the Jets do not. Well, let's say the shoe's on the other foot and the Jets get off to an early lead. I think if you're live betting this game, I am hammering the Jets going forward if they get out to a lead, because I do not trust the Chargers to be able to make any kind of comeback whatsoever, in large part because the Jets have the best defense when it comes to taking away deep passes of 20-plus air yards. And even though Justin Herbert has a rocket arm, for some reason, that has just not been a part of the Chargers offense trying to throw it deep. Now, some of that is personnel. Some of that's a lack of trust with the receivers who might be able to, go deep on vertical routes. It's going to be about quick passes, short passes, 0 to 9 air yards. That's largely what we're going to see from the Chargers. And so I think backing receivers you think will get targets that way, I think that's fine. But in a live betting situation, if the Jets get out to an early lead, I would start to hammer that early and often.
Herbert, interception, yes, is plus money. To throw a pick is plus money. And Wilson, to not throw a pick is plus money. I like both plus money sides.
The Wilson, I agree with you. That one I'm totally in on. Like Wilson not to throw an interception, because I don't know how many pass attempts he's going to have in a game like this in general. It's probably going to be running and throwing it short, and it will allude to a prop I have a little bit later, Aaron. But the idea, though, that Wilson is going to put the ball in harm's way against this kind of Chargers defense, I just don't see that happening. I think it's probably going to be a more conservative game plan by New York, and that's fine. And then on the other side, I'm a little bit more torn about it, but definitely Wilson not to throw a pick. I would definitely be on board.
Red zone targets on the Jets side. It's Wilson and only Wilson. He has 12. and the next highest on the team is 3. So if they're going to score via the air, it's only going to get looks to Garrett Wilson, you would think. I mean, and it could be a Breece Hall game. That was something I considered. Now, historically, we like to pick on the Chargers' run defense, but it's their pass defense that is getting them killed this season. So that Breece Hall number, 57.5 for the Breece Hall number. If you think they're going to end up sticking with the ground, Garrett Wilson. Let's see, anytime touchdown, it's 2-1. I thought that number would be worse.
Right. I actually do like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. By the way, the public, in terms of most bet on props, Breece Hall over 17.5 receiving yards at -135. 99% of the bets are on the over. Don't we see Breece Hall also as a receiver here? Like, in terms of rushing and receiving yards, you could see him going over his number, perhaps?
That is a random prop to be very popular. Don't you think?
Yeah, they saw him have a huge... They've seen him have a couple huge receiving games back-to-back. And, by the way, I did just look at this. The Chargers, they've been surprisingly good against the run. Bottom 5 in yards allowed to backs through the air.
Bama and Ohio State. Ohio State's in right now. Bama is not. Maybe that conversation changes tomorrow. Which would you rather bet to win the title, Ohio State or Alabama?
Alabama. I would bet Alabama. It's this weird deal where I think the challenge for Bama is getting into the playoff. I think it's a lesser challenge once they're in there because they're going to have the coaching advantage over everybody. And the way that Milroe has played, we're almost to the point where, okay, quarterback may not be as much of a discrepancy as previously thought. And the way this Alabama defense has looked as of late, the defense might have the advantage against any playoff team. The problem is with that one glaring loss early in the year, they can't lose in the SEC championship game and still make it in the playoff. I think that's going to be the biggest issue. Like, otherwise, history is going to repeat itself. They're going to be, number 5 or number 6 in the country, go back to the Sugar Bowl and pound anybody they play. But if they get to the playoff, then I think Alabama has a great opportunity. And so I think there's value just in that alone, but they have to get there. I would certainly not recommend like Alabama to make the playoff or anything like that. I don't know if the value is there, but I think once they get to the playoff, I think they're very dangerous.